Welcome back to the We On One podcast hosted by me. Today I am joined with my dog, my boy, Dally. What's up, Dallas?
What's up, bro? Long time.
Bro,
But I've seen you.
No, we've been seeing each other, but like we haven't potted together in like a whole fucking year.
Bro, it's been like literally impossible for us to like sit down for even like 20 minutes
For
to
real.
even like talk anything.
Even this pod has been like dragged out like 2 weeks.
Yeah, literally.
So, like,
and we've
yeah.
been, trying to do this for like 3 hours already today. You know what I mean?
So like the moment we got here, like just with the kids and everything just going on, a whole bunch of shit. So I mean, bro, I'm happy that we're finally getting back into
Feels
it
good.
and shit. Hell yeah,
for
dude.
sure, bro.
So
Little recap.
Well, nothing much been going on in your life? Smooth work, kids.
Same shit.
Act like I don't see you.
I know.
At least once a
you know
week.
exactly what's been
Yeah, like
going
we
on,
talk like
man.
almost every other fucking day. So it's like it's weird to ask you
Yep.
like, what have you been up to? Like I know what you've been up to, but
For sure.
they don't know what you've been up to.
Well, big absence for just getting away. We got a crib, a lot of shit, just
Right.
kind of like get everything
Good shit,
set up
dude.
and
Round of applause.
appreciate it.
Dally's growing up.
You know how the economy is, so
The
you know
economy
big,
is,
big
dude.
things.
We need them taxes to go back down, so we
uh,
can afford to live again.
Yeah, for real, man.
Man. So like,
What about you? Life.
it's the same shit, bro. Just working, really just trying to figure it out, taking everything like day by day type shit.
Yep.
Like honestly, just trying to figure out the pod.
Yeah.
Working, being a dad. I got 2 kids, so it's like just finding time to like do this with
For
Belinda is
real.
like hella like always like we're always in the mix, you know.
And
so
Belinda, she be working, bro.
for real.
Like she be working
She
crazy
works, dude.
hours.
Hell yeah, dude. So shout out to my wife, you know,
Holding it down.
me down. But on other news, a lot of shit's been going on in the fucking news, like a whole bunch of
Man.
shit. Ryan Garcia has been going off on fucking Instagram and TikTok live. Lately it's been TikTok.
Yeah.
So like I've been following Ryan Garcia for like a few years now.
Okay.
Definitely like since his who the fuck did he fight? I don't know. He fought some dude who I was like, oh, okay, like this is
A
the
decent fight.
next guy up because he was working with Canelo's camp.
Okay.
So his trainer was Canelo's trainer.
Oh wow.
And
okay.
so pretty much that's just how like I got familiar with him because I'm like I follow Canelo and I'm like really into like Canelo and shit since I was like a shorty and shit.
I feel like that dude was huge on like social media for some reason.
He
I don't know
is.
what it was.
Who,
like,
Ryan?
Yeah, maybe
Dude,
it was like
it's-
some pretty boy shit, but like
that's what it is.
right. That's
shit.
what I figured.
And like he's definitely like the golden boy. He's like you know what's crazy, bro? Like so I was watching like Fernando Vargas versus Oscar De La Hoya, like old ass
Yeah,
fucking
old
fight,
ass
dude.
fight,
Old ass fight. And I like saw like Oscar De La Hoya talking shit and it just like it's like very reminiscent of like Ryan Garcia. So like Ryan Garcia definitely
Yeah.
gets a lot of his shit talking
Uh-huh.
way, like he's very clean cut and shit like that.
Yeah.
But like, like he's the golden boy of boxing pretty much now, or he was until he fucking took his L from Tank.
Yeah, and I think definitely like we'll get into that
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
but I don't even think he deserved that fight from Tank. I think it was just he was so popular and
Yo,
they
like,
knew the numbers.
Yeah,
you know
we'll
what
talk.
I mean?
We'll talk about that because like I'll definitely like I can
You
definitely
got some shit to
I got
say?
some shit to say about
All
that.
right.
But like, so Ryan Garcia, for everybody who's listening, has been going off and on the fucking internet, pretty much just like going crazy about like Bohemian Grove and being kidnapped and all the shit that they made him see.
Yeah,
And like just real Illuminati talk, dude. Like some real shit. And like
shit.
the conspiracy theorist in me is like, fuck yeah, dude. Like,
Yeah,
yo, that's like
I'm the
some real
same
shit.
way.
so like, what do you think about all that? Like that's been going on with him and shit.
Well, like if you heard anything about like the whole Jeffrey Epstein shit, and if you believe anything in that, then like this story is really for you because it's all the same shit. People are getting sacrificed. People are being forced to do things that they're not supposed
just
to
like
do.
S8 and shit, like just
Right.
to like play it safe because YouTube be having hella
Oh,
weird.
for real?
So whenever you hear this, that means that's the grape word that we can't say. So whenever we're talking about like he was literally talking about little kids. You know what I'm saying? Like it just sounds like it's
the
funny
beep
because
is making me laugh.
Yeah, that's fucked up. Yeah, you're fucked up.
That's
person,
fucked
bro.
up. Anyway,
Let's
back to
cancel
that
this
bitch
guy.
ass Ryan Garcia, dude. Nah.
So
supposedly they forced him to watch things happen to kids,
Right.
and he's going out. He's putting videos out, and like he looks crazy the whole time he's doing all this.
right.
But at the same time, you cannot discount anything this guy is saying because he's not the first one to say any
he's
of
definitely
this.
he's not the first one to say it, and he's probably not going to be the last one. He's definitely just the one saying it right now.
Right.
So like just to kind of go over a lot of things he's saying, he's definitely been talking about like kids being kidnapped, being forced to watch kids being and shit like that. Essay
Yep.
and just really really disturbing things, bro. That I'm just like, dog, like I don't know if it's just him like coping and like if this is real. You know, a lot of people are saying that he's been like coked out. You know, like when he had his face off with Devin Haney.
Yeah.
Devin Haney was really like leaning into that. I don't know if you watched it, but he was pretty much just like, "Yo, stay off the coke, Ryan. Stay off the alcohol, Ryan."
Yeah, I've seen shit like that.
Just really like talking shit to him.
And I just saw a video like last week, Ryan, like literally a day after he put all that Bohemian Grove stuff out. He was talking to his trainer, and he was literally saying like, until we fight, I'm gonna be sober. Nothing, no weed, no alcohol, nothing. So that
like
goes
the
to
shit
show,
that they made him sign.
Yeah, so I mean
like,
that shows that he, maybe he's not in the right mental space.
Yeah,
but
because I know that he's had things where like he's pulled out of fights, he's taken a break from boxing, to work on his mental health. Which, in my opinion, like, look, if you're really going through some shit, that's awesome that you're taking the time because he's being put in the spotlight all the fucking time,
literally,
especially given that like he's like a
up and coming fighter.
He was an undefeated fighter.
Yeah,
you know, he was really, he was entertaining. He would go out there. He's the quote unquote like pretty boy. So like the girls fuck with him, the guys fuck with him because like he's like what guys want to be.
That shit,
he talks that shit.
Up,
he used to talk that shit. Now he's a little weird.
For sure.
But so yeah, like I just thought all that shit was just really, 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 really weird, right? So like as he's saying all these things and he's exposing all these things that he's saying, there's he was like on a like a shared space on Twitter. I don't have Twitter, so like I don't know how that shit works. I don't know if you've ever seen them.
So I do use Twitter, but like I haven't even touched that because I'm like I don't know what the fuck.
You know what they are? You know what I'm talking about though?
It's just like kind of like lives, right?
Like a little group chat almost.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's like a group chat, but like a voice memo group chat.
Okay.
So like everybody gets together and they're just like it's just voice memos.
Got it.
Like not voice memos, but like you're just talking as we would, but like with the group of people.
Like Voxer. You ever use Voxer back in the day?
I know what it is.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like Voxer.
Cool.
And so pretty much he was in there talking to another person who like cannot be fucking he who should not be named.
Who
Andrew
that?
Tate.
Oh, that's right. It was so weird.
He who shall not be named because every single time if people say his name, like
trigger.
It triggers the algorithms and shit like that.
Trigger warning.
Exactly. So pretty much he was talking to he who should not be named, and they were pretty much just doing this thing where he's like, Ryan, like if you're gonna say this, like the consequences of saying this shit. And Ryan's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna say what the fuck I gotta say, and ain't nobody gonna say shit to me, and blah blah. And I'm just like, all right, big dog, like you talking that shit. You better talk that shit, and you better stand on it because if any of the things that he's saying have validity, like you're definitely putting a target on your back.
100%.
Because like this is shit like how you were saying with like the other guy who shall not be named, the fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
He pretty much was like had that whole secret island type shit, and if it's really that, and like these people are really doing that shit, bro, expose them.
Yeah. All right. For sure.
It doesn't fucking matter if it's whoever, like dog, just fucking say their names and let it be what it is.
Yeah, and well, like you said too, like the consequences that come with it. You're not talking about like some people who work like down the street at like a regular ass grocery. These are like millionaires who have ties with some of the most powerful people. Like people just think like celebrities, like celebrities be kicking it, but it's like politicians, judges, all that shit. Like that's where the real power kind of comes from,
Exactly, dude. And like, so like. As like I'm doing like because we're working together, me and you, we're figuring out what we're gonna our topics and shit. I'm doing a little bit of deep diving, and it's one of those things where like TikTok kind of like here's what you're talking about.
Oh, for sure.
Don't ban TikTok. But pretty much like they were just like I just started seeing my algorithm just started changing to like Ryan Garcia, a lot of Bohemian Grove shit.
Dude, that's all I'm getting on like Twitter. Same shit.
Yeah,
it's just like all of like different people's like videos of them trying to go in there and they're getting caught. Or
so the Bohemian Grove is pretty much like this. Like I don't know if I say it's like a secret society, but it's definitely one of those things where like there's like a bunch of like rich, wealthy men that like get together like once a summer or spring. Yeah, and they do this weird shit where like they all live in like cabins and pretty much like. I don't know, like how would you explain it? Like they get together and they pretty much just do all these like networking events. I don't know if it's network. Yeah. I don't know because I'm not privy to the information.
Right. So I don't know. I think like to the public, what Bohemian Grove is, it's like a country club type of style deal.
Right.
Like you were saying, people get together and they're like networking and they're trying to figure out like obviously how can we make more money probably or how can we use each other like to build our brands and all that.
Yeah. But which like in essence, it does sound like a good thing.
Right.
But then there's also this thing where like they get together like on the last day and they like burn an owl.
Yeah. And that's like the weird shit.
Like on some like secret society type shit.
Right.
And there's this guy that I know a lot of people are familiar with, Alex Jones. who investigated them back in like the 90s and early 2000s and pretty much broke into Bohemian Grove, got footage of it, and leaked footage of like the burning and all this shit. But his thing was like, oh, they're sacrificing kids, they're fucking kids and shit like that, and they're doing all this bunch of weird ass shit. And I'm also like, all right, like maybe that's true,
right?
Maybe it is true, and maybe they were, or maybe like once upon a time they were doing fucked up shit there,
right?
And if you ask me, my personal opinion, yeah, they're probably doing like some weird ass shit over there, dude. Some shit that there has to be a reason why it's so secretive.
Right. Yeah.
Like, there's no way that like it's not what it is if they won't even allow, like, I guess not everything is for people's consumption and shit like that, but like there has to be some validity to like everything that people are talking about if they're just so secretive about it.
Well, too, you know, like you got all, like this isn't the first time people have talked about Bohemian Grove and like all the crazy shit they're doing there, you know, like there has to be some truth somewhere. You know, I'm sure a lot of shit is too like kind of exaggerated, but you really can't exaggerate things like that. The
stories
you know
are a lot consistent. They're all consistent.
Right. They all sound the same.
There was this TikTok that I was watching, and of course, like everybody, every time I say TikTok, everybody like cringes a little bit because it's like there's just so much misinformation out there. Fuck you. There's just like, I know there's just so much like misinformation out there. But like there was this girl who was on there who was saying like, yeah, I was like one of like 11 employees who like worked there, and pretty much like they would tell you like, hey, like if you're in trouble and you need help, don't call the cops because they can't find you.
They would not be able to find you.
So what the fuck are you supposed to do?
Right. Call security, they say.
Call security. But it's like, bro,
why they find me?
Right. Well, how can, first of all, like, why should I trust your security?
Right.
Like their best interest is to like look out for y'all, not to like really figure out, like, I could be like, it could be like a legit accident or something, but if it's like bad press or like bad reputation to come with it, bro, they're not gonna give a fuck. They're just gonna be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna try to cover it up. Like it just is too much. It's
for sure.
You know? And she was saying that she was like one of like all these people who actually who couldn't actually like get the work there. Yeah. Because I know that there was like a lawsuit like back in the day that the Bohemian Grove went through because they weren't employing women.
Really?
Yeah. And I guess they're very selective of like the amount of women that they employ, who they employ. I guess she was saying that the thing that they like to do is that they like to bring people from the past. So like they like to keep the same crew.
Okay.
So like she said, like the first thing is like one of the first rules that they stress there is like everything that goes on there, whatever you see there, you didn't see there. Yeah. What happens here stays here, type shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't tell nobody.
Right. And it's just shit's weird.
Yeah. I'm.
Watch me get killed
for real.
Hey, if you're listening to this podcast and then you don't hear from me in fucking Dallas for like 2 months, just know, I'm not at all. You know what I'm saying? I do not want to self delete. So like, just know they got us. Yeah. But so yeah, like all that shit's crazy, right? And a lot of this ties into what Ryan Garcia is saying because like, pretty much he's saying he was like one of the chosen few to like really like. Pretty much like he sold his soul. Like he was like pretty much they wanted him to sell his soul. He was like, nah, fuck that. Like I'm with God. I'm a man who walks with God, which I respect too. Like
for sure.
I respect everybody's religion, whether it's over here or it's over there. Like I don't care. Whatever makes you a better man. Yeah. Type shit. As long as you're not hurting kids and people, I don't give a fuck about who and what you pray to.
So supposedly the reason why they do stuff like this is because those powerful people, they hold a lot of like power in like our internet, you know, like world with like making people go viral and all that stuff.
Dude. Like so, you're like and that's another one of our topics that we'll get into later on. But like pretty much like he pretty much was just like, nah, like I'm gonna stay where I'm at and I'm not gonna compromise for like the secret society type shit. And I'm just like if everything this motherfucker's saying is true, this shit's about to get hella spooky.
And that's the crazy part is like this isn't some nobody. You know what I mean? Like sometimes like somebody will kind of like who used to have a big career and who's really nobody now will come on and say wild shit so they can get views and they can be that person again. But
man, like there's like Orlando Brown, right? Like from That's So Raven, who came out and was like, "Yo, like they're doing fucked up shit in Hollywood. They're doing all this and that." And now there's like documentaries that are like being like
people were clowning him too because he looks so messed up, but
he's this and that. But like
deep dive, like deep dive,
maybe he's an alcoholic. Maybe he is. I don't know. I don't know him. All I got to say is like, as far as him, there's got to be a little bit of validity to everything that he's saying.
Right. Like you can't have all these people saying the same thing. They're all going through the same things. And like, you know, like when we were younger, you watch these like stars, these child
Yeah.
stars, and then they're like gone, and everyone's like, oh, I wonder what happened to them.
And then all of a sudden they show up and
But
they're
they
like
all have this.
crackheads.
They all have the
They're
same
this.
story.
They're drug addicts.
Yeah.
They're this. They're that. They're crazy. They're vindictive. They just they're haters and all this shit. And it's like, dog, like that. Not everything is gonna make sense. You know.
No. It almost makes too much sense that all these people have the same story.
Same story. So pretty much the overall arc of this is people are saying that Ryan Garcia is using this as an excuse to pull from the fight. What do you think?
You know, like that's tough to say. Just because you want to hope he wants to actually fight. This is how he makes money, and
he made $40 million in his career so far.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure a big ass chunk of that came from his Tank fight.
Oh, I'm sure like 80% of it did. Well, so I mean, you never know, right? And I guess this is like kind of to something that I'm glad we're talking about this today because the fight's next month, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna see, you know,
April 20th, 420, smoke up. I don't smoke, but if you do, cool.
If they do fight, okay, maybe this guy had some shit to for real say.
Yeah.
If for some reason they don't fight, then everything he just said is like almost invalid. You know, you kind of just look back at it like
to me, it's like, bro, you kind of have to fight him now.
Right. Oh,
like you kind of like if you want everybody to like believe you, and you don't even necessarily have to win. You just have to show up and fight.
Right. Because if people are saying you're doing this to not fight, and you go and fight,
no one's ever. You're gonna be the boy. You're gonna be the boy who cried wolf.
Right.
Every single time that like you get into a fight that you bit off a little bit too much that you can chew, you're just gonna try to like back out.
Right.
And like, I don't even know if I want him to do that because like I would kind of hope that he's like bullshitting and this shit's not really going on. Because like one thing that really gets to me, bro, is like when little kids are involved.
100%.
Like that, you know, because we got kids and shit like that. So like whenever like little kids are involved, I kind of like hope that he's fucking around because like I wouldn't want little kids to be getting hurt.
Yeah.
But a part of me, from like a fan aspect of like boxing and shit, like I want to see Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia fight.
Yeah. Oh, me too.
You know, like I want to see them fight. I want to figure out who's the better fighter, who's gonna win and whatever. But you know,
yeah, I think
it's like. It's like a fucking, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place as a fan because like you're kind of hoping that like he's bullshitting, but then you're also just like, I don't know, man. Like I don't want you to go through with the fight just to kind of prove that everything that you're saying is true to kind of like expose it.
I don't think somebody like of as much fame as he has and like he's still an active boxer. He's still actively, you know, like trying to build his career. Mm-hmm. I just can't picture somebody going online saying all this crazy ass shit and then like, you know, just like expecting like nothing to happen. Like something must have happened for him to feel confident enough to go out and say all this shit.
Like there had to been like an awakening at some point.
Yeah, or some, you know, like because if you say this stuff, bro, you're gonna like destroy your career or get a bunch of fame from. And I don't see him trying to destroy himself like that.
I don't either.
Unless he's like drugged up and
like, you know, like, there has been like a lot of compilations of, you know, and again, it's all compilations, it's all internet shit, like of like people like comparing his face, comparing his body, like saying he's bloated, and all that could be signs of alcoholism.
Yeah, well, and if I had 40 million, I guarantee you I wouldn't be all like healthy and shit. I'd probably be, like, you know, like, I'd be probably partying every day.
Money definitely emphasizes the person you already were,
for sure.
So, like, if you're already a generous person, when you get your 40 million or whatever the fuck it is, if you get your 500,000,
right, whatever,
it's just gonna amplify whatever you already were. If you were a generous person, you're gonna be wanting to give more. Mm-hmm. If you were a fucked up person, you're just gonna be a more fucked up person.
That's true, yeah,
and that just it just amplifies the type of person that you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Now we need a deep ass investigation on Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, we need to figure this out. Maybe
I'm gonna message him right now.
See if he answers. Hey, what if he does?
That would be
that'd be funny.
Yeah, dude, that would be crazy.
You want to give your official prediction for the Ryan Garcia Devin Haney fight?
I think Haney wins, man.
Yeah, I think Devin Haney wins as well.
I don't know. I just feel like
obviously like the Mexican in me is like. I'm always wanting to pull for like the Mexican fighter, but I'm also like a realistic fan.
We like the sports bet, so you know.
But like I think that you know, like Devin Haney is definitely like he's a good boxer. Mm-hmm. You know, there's a lot of shit talking whether he has power in his hands and shit like that, but like, you know, they call him, you know, he's pillow hands and all that because like he doesn't hit hard type shit. But I think Devin Haney can get it done just based off of like skill.
Yeah.
I think he could definitely outbox Ryan if Ryan's really distracted doing all this. Or maybe this is a complete distraction and he's going to go in there sharp as ever and beat the shit out of Devin Haney.
Well,
That'd be awesome.
Ryan just got a new he's boxing with like a new team now, isn't he?
I think so too.
He joined I think Gervonta Davis's team.
That'd be weird.
I'm pretty sure he did because he said that somebody in his team was leaking all these, information.
Yeah.
So then he went to go fight with their team just because.
I'd want to go back with Canelo.
Oh, I don't know why he even left Canelo in the first place.
Because Canelo would like not criticize him, but give him constructive criticism, like as a big bro type shit. But when you're like he was a little kid, bro. Like you got to think about, he was like 16, 17 years old. So he thought he fucking knew everything. So when you're like a 17-year-old kid, and the person who you look up to is like what you feel like is it's like if like
it's like Michael Jordan trying to give LeBron fucking
right,
but they're not obviously not skill level. I'm not trying to hear any of that.
But I'm saying like your hero,
but it's
like
your
hero is like
big bro, little bro.
Right, it's like your hero is telling you like, bro, you need to be more disciplined. Mm-hmm. You need to be more on your game. Like you're out here fucking around. You give a fuck too much about all these like Instagram likes. You give a fuck about these Instagram models. Like you need to fucking dial in right now.
Yeah.
And fuck the bullshit, because like Canelo coming up wasn't all flashy. He was just straight fucking boxing. He still isn't, but he's a lot better now.
Right.
Like he'll show off, like he'll have like these tours of his home where he has like horses, and you can see the elegance coming out as he's becoming as he's like 50-1 or 50-2.
But he's not on Instagram and posting all this shit all the time.
Right. He's not like living off the internet type shit.
Okay, I didn't know all that. That's crazy.
So yeah, my official prediction for the fight is going to be Devin Haney.
You got a decision, or you got him knocking him out, or some TKO
by decision? Yeah. I don't think Ryan gets TKO'd. I don't think. I think I would hope that if he learns from his mistakes from Tank, he'll go in there a lot better prepared.
Yeah, and
I think that he can definitely go the distance because he's fast, he's athletic, he's good. He just needs to go in really good shape, and hopefully he can pull off a win. I would love him to, but if the realistic in me is like, all right, like Devin Haney by decision.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of fighting on the internet lately, dude.
Yeah,
a lot of war of words and shit like that. Kendrick Lamar came out and dissed Drake. He fucking dissed J.Cole. It was mainly at Drake though. So like, let me set this up. So 2014, 10 years ago, Big Sean, Jay Electronica, and Kendrick Lamar drop a song called Control. You ever heard Control?
Oh yeah.
Okay. In that verse, he disses everybody who is hot. A$AP Rocky, Big Sean, J. Cole, Drake, R.I.P. Mac Miller, like all these dudes. He disses everybody who's hot at the time, and says like, he goes in. I'm not gonna give you a fucking ad lib from it or nothing.
Rap it for us.
Nah, I'm not gonna rap it real quick. I mean, I do got the mic. I fuck around, dude. If this podcast shit don't take off,
you got the mic.
I might have to fuck around and just start rapping with this equipment. But he disses them, right? And he ends up getting a response from like Meek Mill. Meek Mill was really the main one that stuck out to me back then, because he was on some like, you talking all this shit, you're gonna make the East Coast come back type shit, because he said he was, he's like, I'm the king of New York, I'm this and that, and like had all these motherfuckers just enraged, and then the lore with Drake and Kendrick is that when Kendrick was coming up, Drake was the first person to bring him on tour.
Okay.
So he really gave him his first look when he went on tour. And pretty much was like really helping him go through all these things and pretty much just like, figuring out his label situations and shit like that. As history plays itself out, he ended up signing with TDE.
Okay.
Kendrick.
Yeah.
And when the verse comes out, Drake kind of took it as like, dog, like, how you gonna diss me when I'm the one who put you on your first tour? I'm the one who did this. I'm the one who did that. And then fast forward maybe a few months later or a year later, there's the 2015 or 2014 BET Cypher.
Okay.
So that, you know what those are? I don't know if you're familiar. If you're not, I'll explain.
Yeah.
Pretty much it's just like a cipher, a BET Cypher is pretty much just like where they collect like some like
freestyle type of shit.
Yeah. Like you're just in a big group of like all these of the like your pretty much like your counterparts, like other guys who are in the same business and shit like that, and they're just like rapping, freestyling and shit like that. Where he goes and he disses Drake again.
Oh,
he disses the album. Nothing was the same.
Okay.
He's like, shit ain't been the same since or he said nothing has been the same since I tucked in a sensitive rapper. Like dissing Drake.
Okay.
And then it dies out, right? And then and then everyone's focused on Kendrick and Big Sean, because it was on Big Sean's song where he came and kind of overshadowed everybody, dissed him on his own song, overshadowed the song, and Big Sean was just kind of left like, what the fuck?
Right.
Like, this is my song, though. Like, how you gonna diss me on my song? But he still let it, come out. Props to him. Because a lot of people wouldn't have done that shit.
Nah.
They probably would have went in, rewrote a verse or whatever, and gone from there. But fast forward 10 years later, finally, Drake and J.Cole team up for
they went on tour together.
Yeah, they go on tour together. And all that happens, right? So then fucking Kendrick comes out with this song on Future's new album where he's like pretty much just like straight dissing him. Just says fuck there ain't no big three, it's just big me.
Yeah.
Fuck all that like first person shooter shit. Like for all the dogs, just starts really like aiming at Drake. But like J. Cole's kind of like a casualty of war.
Right.
Because like as he's teaming up with Drake, all these things are happening and he's just been getting caught in the middle of it, right?
Right, for sure.
So, it goes to say like, all right, like do you then team up with Drake and come back at him, or does that look weak? Type shit. Like that's a lot of the conversation that's going on right now, because a lot of people are like, okay, like who's going to respond first? Who's going to say this? Who's going to say that? And in my opinion, I think Drake needs to say something first, because he's coming at you about 80% of the verses about you.
Right.
90% of the verses about you. He's coming at you. He came at you hard, pretty much just saying like, man, fuck you, fuck J. Cole. Like, there ain't no such thing as a big three. Nigga, it's just me. Y'all can fall back. I'm that guy.
Yeah.
Like, fuck y'all.
Man, honestly, I think like Kendrick, he's been so gone for so long. Like,
well, he does that. He takes breaks.
He's always been like that.
Like 4 or 5 year breaks in between albums, and randomly he'll come and he'll like drop some hot shit, and then
he'll diss a bunch of people, and then just dip off.
Disappear.
And I think that's kind of like weird, like Drake. The whole time that Kendrick's been like chilling, doing whatever he's doing, Drake's still killing it. Drake's still putting up these crazy ass numbers and breaking all these records. Like, so it makes sense for Kendrick to come and attack the biggest dude, because that's the most, you get the most like fame out of it.
And my thing is also like, you're coming at the biggest dude in the situation, but you're also not going at the most lyrical dude at the situation. Because if you really wanted to go bar for bar, you'd go for J. Cole.
Right, yeah.
So there's a reason why he's still coming at him, but like there's a reason why 90% of that verse was aimed towards
the guy with the ghostwriter.
And now the other conversation is he dissed him on Future's album.
That's what really surprised me.
Who is like supposed it's FBG OVO. Like he did a whole album with Drake.
Yeah, they did.
What a Time to Be Alive. Fire ass album, dude. Like I wish there was a part 2 to that, right?
I swear, bro.
But that's crazy. So the animosity with Future comes because he ended up, instead of doing a second part 2 to What a Time to Be Alive, he did Her Loss with 21 Savage. So that's where the animosity comes from.
So you think Future is kind of beefing too? Or
it ain't no think it is. It ain't no think it is, bro. Okay. This is where the plot thickens, you know what I'm saying? So Future and Drake are pretty much like, it's kind of confirmed that they're beefing over a girl.
You think so? It's a girl?
Well, all the other lines that are coming out, he's pretty much just saying all this like, you pillow talking, you doing all this shit, like we fucking the same girls type shit, and Drake's kind of been known to do that shit.
Yeah, right.
Like he's been known to like fuck with dudes' girls and shit like that.
Yeah,
and at some point it's like, all right, like somebody's gonna say something.
Might be Future.
It might be Future.
Fuck it.
And Future finally said, you know what, man, fuck this guy. Like, he went behind my back. And not went behind my back, but like he was fucking the same girl I'm fucking with.
Yeah.
And also, not only is he doing that, but he's also like, he's not even like, he's pretty much moved on from the whole What a Time to Be Alive, did Her Loss. And then instead of doubling back to go do that, which was what people want.
For sure.
He goes and he teams up with J. Cole.
Yeah, that and I did hear something like they were gonna do and they're planning on doing What a Time to Be Alive Part 2.
Not no more.
But
because
after Future lets this dude walk onto his own song and his boy, I don't know. So like Future,
Metro Boomin does not miss. This whole album is fire, crazy, dude. This whole album is insane.
Yeah,
The samples are insane. The intros from Prodigy, from Mobb Deep is insane. He flips Quiet Storm at the end, at like the second to last song, and then just like, bro, like all this shit, like the hip hop head in me, bro, just was like, yo, like I fuck with this.
Hell yeah,
this album is good. At a solid 1 through 10, bro, this is a solid 8.
I agree, 100%.
It's a solid fucking 8, bro. Like this album is gonna probably live past the summer.
Oh, I think.
And then they're coming back again this week.
Oh,
So by the time you hear this,
yeah,
the next day they're gonna drop a new album,
yeah,
another one. They're doubling back. So if this is what happened on the first album, I wonder what the second album is.
Well, yeah.
I mean, the last time he did this was man, I forgot the name of those two albums that he did, Hendrix and fuck, I forgot the name of the other one. It was like Hendrix, and the other one it was like the
damn, I feel like I know what you're talking about.
yeah, it's the one where he had fuck. Let me look it up real quick. So pretty much it was Hendrix, and then there was like another album where he pretty much did like a double thing, like a double.
Yeah, like he had back-to-back albums come out.
Yeah. Hold on. Sorry.
Let's see.
Fuck. Trying to find out this discography real quick. Apologies. So it was Future and Hendrix. So he had Future and Hendrix come out like 1 week apart from each other.
Yeah.
It was the yellow and the white one.
Okay.
And then after that it was The Wizard that came out 2 years later, and then High Off Life, and then I Never Liked You, another great album. And all that
Future's
shit.
a beast.
Oh,
man.
He's a beast.
He's so
and
fire.
we were talking about this like before we press record. Like there's like a top 5, but there's really like that interchangeable 6.
We think
6 man of the year.
like top 6 rappers of like the last.
Like,
would you say like 15 years
about
or so?
15? Yeah, well,
10,
yeah,
15
you
years.
gotta, if we're gonna do that, you got to go back to when Kanye came around, because Kanye is still in the mix, and he came out in like 2004, so that's 20 years right there.
A lot of people now they won't understand, because the last 10 years of Kanye has been all like crackhead.
Just been on
crazy.
Another guy who's gone through like an awakening type shit.
And that's another guy who he was saying that the government was trying to.
all
that's
this
a whole
shit,
other podcast.
Right. That's a whole other podcast. But back to Future. So pretty much he's coming out with a second album with fucking Metro Booming.
That's crazy.
Just crazy.
Metro is just.
So just imagine what's next, right? So, digesting really what's been going on with Future and Drake. Let me see.
That is so crazy to me that Future let Kendrick diss Drake on
his album. Yeah,
that's crazy.
So a lot of people are reporting that, like Double XL reported Future and Drake might have beef over a girl. Might have been over a girl.
Wow.
So like, bro, there's just so much shit that I'm just like it was just all at once, because like, bro, I woke up. I'm off on Friday, so like I woke up. And I'm like, I had completely forgot that the album dropped until I go on like YouTube, because I'm making breakfast and shit like that. So like, I like to watch YouTube as I'm making breakfast.
For sure.
And all of a sudden, I just see one of this other podcast that I listen to, The Community. Shout out AD and them. He's like, they're pretty much reacting to like Kendrick Lamar dissing the verse of just Kendrick Lamar dissing fucking Drake. And I'm like, hold on, let me pause this. Let me go listen to this. And bro, like, I was just like, yo, he slid. He got him. Kendrick got him.
Crazy shit out there.
He flipped a lot of shit. Like pretty much just saying like, fuck. The biggest thing that I keep coming back to is like, fuck the big 3. Is just big old me. Yeah. Because in first person shooter, J.Cole raps. Everyone's debating the 3, or debating who the top MC. Is K. Dot, Drake, and me. But we're really a big 3. Like we had our own league type shit. And he's pretty much just saying like, you're trying to be cool, but I'm not trying to be like, I'm not trying to be cool. Like when it comes to this lyricist shit, like I'm the best one. I'm that's
fire. See, I didn't put those two together. Yeah. That's
so like
fire.
that's the shit that like when you think of like the genius of it, like then he has like double entendres where like he's like, like words that just have like all these double meanings and shit like that, or triple meanings, and you really just like dive
the symbolism
into
and shit
the symbolism of everything that happened, and you really push it together. You're just like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, where the fuck have we been? Like, all this shit's just been going on, and, you're dealing with all this shit, and the whole time, bro, is just coming crazy.
That's wild shit, man.
So, I'm really looking forward to, like, this, like,
Drake needs to say something.
This new beef.
Yeah.
He needs to come. One of them needs to come. J. Cole or Drake. I think J. Cole is the betterly equipped, but I'm never counting Drake out.
Because Drake and who was it?
Meek Mill.
It was
Meek Mill. It was Meek Mill first. He dissed Meek Mill on the back-to-back. He pretty much put a whole fucking anthem out for like a whole summer, and then there was Summer 16 where he dissed Tory Lanez, and then the Pusha T thing. Yeah. Where some people debate, he got his first L.
Oh, you think so?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think Pusha T walks away with a W.
I think that's something I gotta go back and listen to.
Simply just from like, so like this is like where he like pretty. We're not gonna get too much into it, but like pretty much where like he goes and pretty much like exposes the fact that Drake had a kid.
Oh, that's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And kind of like was like baiting him to say some shit because he baited him because nobody knew he was gonna diss him on his Daytona album. Like it just came out and then he baited him to say some shit, kind of hoping he would cross that line, which Drake kind of did. He was kind of rapped about Pusha T's wife, and he was just like put a ring on it like Virginia Williams or some shit like that, which is Pusha T's wife.
Really?
Kind of. It was light. It was hella light. It was some light shit, and Pusha T used it to like pretty much annihilate him. He's like, okay, like you bit, you bit. Okay, cool. Now I'm gonna kill you. Now I'm gonna kill you, and now I'm really gonna get at you. And that's what he did. He's like, you're hiding the child. You're playing Border Patrol. You're a piece of shit dad. All this, and this. Like, killed his whole rollout with Adidas because he was going from Nike to Adidas at that time.
Wow, that's crazy.
All that shit, bro. It's just like, man, we might have to take a deep dive.
What a time to be alive.
For real. Literally.
What a time.
Literally.
That should be the pod name.
For real. What a time to be alive.
Holy shit.
So, did you get a chance to listen to the whole album?
Oh, yeah.
Or most of it?
I listened to pretty much all of it, yeah. I liked it.
Well, what do you give it 1 through 10?
I give it like a good 8. I like
a good 8. It's
Future,
a good solid 8.
I think he's a beast, man.
Future has not disappointed. I know a lot of people really don't like the drug bars and shit like that, and I'm not really for it too because I don't do drugs.
Right.
So like I really can't relate. you know?
We're not listening to country over here. Sorry about that.
I listen to country.
Oh yeah,
I do.
On a daily.
Every once in a while, I listen to Morgan Wallen. He's a bad dude.
Okay.
Morgan Wallen's a bad boy. I didn't mean to. Like,
I'm not saying I don't like country. I like country, but if you're not trying to hear drugs, bro, shit,
right, like fuck out of here,
right. You better go put on Sirius XM or something.
Oh shit, you good? All right, so wow, no, you're good. So pretty much like, I give it a solid 8. There's not really been a time where fucking Future has really disappointed with an album. I feel like since like DS2, he's just been on a run.
Oh, for sure. So, when DS1 came out, I was like, all right. Yeah. Like you can rap, you got some good music, then there's DS2, follow up.
Then there's the fucking DS2 that's just fucking legendary. Dirty Sprite 2 is legendary, dude. Gosh. Like just legendary.
That guy is a beast. Yeah, he's been doing it for a long time.
Man. Future really woke everybody back up.
Yeah.
He said fuck it, at first I was like, fuck, is this going to overshadow his rollout, his album? But, he really gave out decent, good quality music. It's some really outside music.
And I like
it makes me want it to be summer again. Because, that's really, like, where I enjoy Future the most.
For sure.
Like, in the city, driving to the city type shit. Or, like, just driving around, like, running errands, but just, like, on a fly Saturday after a haircut type shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
man, you really got this for real.
Really get into a bag, bro. You gotta get in your bag, bro.
Man, Future's been going crazy for a minute now, and I like with this new album. Like, I feel like the new thing with other artists is like most songs are like 2 minutes long, and the albums are like 8 songs. You know what I mean? Like, this Future album,
he'll give you a good like 15,
for real,
18, 20 songs. About 3 to 4 minutes a song, and just really, you can live with them.
Half of these rappers, you can listen to their whole album in like 40 minutes and be like, okay. But like those like Future's albums, they take like a good hour and 20, hour 15. You really can get shit done listening to all that stuff.
Right.
All right.
So let's see what else has been going on. LeBron and Jeannie Buss have been spotted out. Of course, this might be a little bit old by now, but it's still just like a good thing to like talk about, just from like perceptions and shit.
Right, yeah.
So pretty much LeBron James was sitting courtside with Jeannie Buss and another woman. And it looked kind of like a little flirtatious, you know what I'm saying? She's putting her hands on him, like hugging him, and they're doing all this shit. He's playing really cool, like LeBron, he's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he's funny as fuck. I feel like LeBron, like,
as he gets older, he just gets funnier.
You really gotta like tip your hat to that dude because he's been in the league for 20
plus years now.
And you've never ever seen this guy on the news about anything,
like cheating or whatever,
anything, any scandal. I don't want like, or you've never seen him at the club all fucked up. Yeah. Like this guy.
There was that one video where like the shorty walks up on him and he just kind of goes like that. And he's just he's like I don't want it, but my homeboy's right here.
Yeah.
So like he's definitely leading the league in assists. You know what I'm saying?
Funny as hell. But that's like the one dude who got the money and didn't fuck off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they didn't mess around. So like,
as I get older, bro, like if you would have asked me this like 10 years ago, I would have been, man, fuck LeBron, like Derrick Rose this, Derrick Rose that, because that's the era that me and you grew up in. We grew up in like watching the Bulls, be the number 1 seed in the East. That shit sounds like it was so far. Oh my god, bro!
NBA
like
history.
Looking back at it now, you're just like, fuck, dude. Like That shit was a long time ago.
Dude, it's I know somebody said the other day it was like 2014. I'm like, damn, you're
like,
right.
You think about that shit, right?
That is crazy.
all the what could have beens, but LeBron just ruining it for us.
Man, fuck Thibs. I think it's more Coach Thibs' fault.
You know what?
Man.
I say that shit all the time, and people are just like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Bro, fuck Tom Thibodeau, bro."
Bro, literally, like, so like
hashtag fuck Tom Thibodeau.
Even like, now, bro, when I do my sports betting and it's like they're blowing a team out by 30 points, I know I got a chance.
Tibbs is fucking coaching them. You're just like, fuck this.
He's gonna play them all the way into the fucking buzzer sounds. No matter how much they're up,
fuck it. They're all gonna. No wonder Brunson's getting fucking 45 points. Is he still? Does he still coach the Knicks?
Yeah, he's still over there.
Because I last time I saw him, he was either coaching the Knicks or the Wolves.
And he'll play Brunson the whole game, bro.
Run his ass down, bro.
All right. But, like, back to fucking LeBron.
LBJ. So, yeah. So, like, it's always good to, like, the hate for LeBron is so real.
Oh, for sure.
And I'll admit, I've added to it.
The poor guy has to, like, deal with the whole LeBron-Michael debate. Yeah. He couldn't just be, like, a real basketball player.
He had a lot of high expectations. Some might say he exceeded them. Others say he'll never be Michael, and it's like as you get older, at least me, the older I got, the more I got to like, all right, like I didn't appreciate Kobe, bro, until he retired.
For real,
and then he died.
You don't realize like what they do to these.
Yeah, like like the amount, and a lot of times it's gonna be the same shit for Steph Curry because like he really changed the way the game is played. And he's got dudes that are like 7 feet tall shooting fucking 3-pointers
for real,
lighting it up, lights out type shit. So like just my appreciation for LeBron is just as a man has grown. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? He's he didn't grow up with a dad.
Right.
So he grew up being a very like active dad. He he always showed like like there was his little villain arc in Miami type shit that he kind of just like leaned into, but like that's what we needed at that time.
Yeah,
Knowing now, looking back at it, like we really needed that.
I think everybody was just like since he got out of high school, it's always been that comparison back to the whole MJ thing. And I think like that's
going to live up to it.
That's like the whole reason why people hated on him is because he's always been compared to Michael. And that's why when you say, what do you think about LeBron? Oh, he's a good player, but he's not Mike.
There's always a but.
He's a great player.
Yeah.
And in this generation, he's the most well-rounded basketball player we've had, since Jordan, whatever your debate is.
I didn't even say since Kobe.
Right.
Because after Michael, there was Kobe. And people forget about Kobe all the time, but they act like Kobe didn't win 5 championships.
Yeah, literally.
They act like Kobe didn't stay for the same team his whole fucking career.
Right, exactly.
Dropped 80, what was it, 81, 82?
81.
You know what I'm saying? He did that. So it's like, there's still Kobe Bryant. You know what I'm saying? And he plays for the Lakers, so that's another one that he has to like kind of live up to, like.
And then the teams you play for too, he went to the Cavaliers and they were ass and they still are, but like you didn't expect anything out of it. But he won a chip there, right? And then he takes him to a chip. He brings him to the playoffs the first year.
Yeah, I'm not trying to glaze LeBron because it's still fuck LeBron.
Yeah,
but like,
MJ.
But like you think about it, like like you see the Chicago Bulls in the back. Where we stand with it, but you also have to like realize like as a true fan, as a true person who watches basketball, who just enjoys the sport, you got to be able to appreciate the shit that he's done.
Bro, I think about shit like that, like in. Maybe let's say 5 years by now.
Yeah,
there will be like no LeBron, no Curry, no fucking,
probably no KD,
no Anthony Davis, no KD, no, and it's like
I'm ready for Anthony Davis to get the fuck up out of it.
Yeah, his broken ass.
He's a fucking bum, bro.
But like it's just crazy,
most overpaid bum ever.
Like like the last 15 years with my basketball, like when I really started watching it. Like all you ever do is you talk shit about all these other players, and it's like D Rose, this and that. He should have, but
kids will never know.
How close
how good Derrick Rose was. And kids will never know how good Derrick Rose was. And people like hear this shit all the time because like he didn't win this, he didn't win that, but it's like dog, like you have to realize like just pure athleticism. I'm pretty sure talent. The closest thing to a Derrick Rose is Ja Morant.
His rookie year, bro, he averaged 28 points a game, and this man does not shoot 3-pointers.
Nah.
And, like, you gotta, like, really watch basketball to understand how fucking crazy that is to score more than 15 points a game, and you're primarily just driving and shooting mid-ranges. Look at DeMar.
Bro, he has so much fucking bounce.
This guy.
It's unbelievable. Like, it's so crazy.
Man, he was different. So different.
Yeah, we gotta keep, every single time we talk about LeBron, we start talking about Derrick Rose, we just go on a tangent.
Now I'm gonna start crying, bro.
Right, you just start crying and shit. Play the little. So, like, pretty much people were blowing out the whole, back to like what we were talking about, because we always we gotta stop doing that. Pretty much, LeBron was getting a lot of hate, right? For the whole Genie Bus thing being courtside. He was just pretty much, not hate, but people were like just trying to be funny, like, oh, he a little cheat.
Yeah, these little celebrities can't do
bad
shit,
husband.
bro. Like,
just funny, stupid shit like that. But I'm like, damn, bro. Like, it really just got me to thinking, bro. Like, damn, like everything that you do just gets amplified 100, times 1,000, and then like he said, it was just, bro. I was just thanking him for like International Women's Day,
right? Just being respectful.
She's a fucking owner of the fucking LA Lakers.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
for women, that's huge.
That's huge.
That's so huge.
It's huge.
You know what I mean?
And like, there's like in the NFL, there's not really like women owners except for, I forgot her name, from the Ford family for Detroit.
They own like a portion of it, right?
Yeah. They own the whole thing? She's like majority owner.
Okay, yeah.
And pretty much like she turned around that whole fucking team.
It's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's something to like really like put out there, like just the impact of women having just our lives and having like sports now.
For real.
Because there's just so much like going on now, like
Mm-hmm.
and it was just weird, like you get to see all that shit. It's just like, damn, bro, like
it's kind of
LeBron,
sad,
like LeBron's getting older. He's just becoming like that. I'm like, damn, he can't catch a break,
right?
And but what do you feel about LeBron stat padding? Because he is doing that.
You think so?
He's stat padding, bro. Like you got 40,000 points, right? Career points, but you're still battling for like the last spot in the West.
See, I can go real deep on this bullshit.
Do it.
I don't really think he's like stat padding. I think like he's like what Jimmy Butler.
Yeah,
bro. During the regular season, Jimmy Butler will maybe shoot the ball 4 times, but he'll dish it out 1,000 times. It's like,
but then the playoffs come around, he's dropping like 25,
and now he's
30
going
points.
hard. Yeah, I think LeBron right now is like in his past years, like he's known like to be the one to drop 25 a game, have 10 rebounds, 8 assists, whatever. And then just be burnt out by the time it comes for like the regular or the postseason. I think now he's at the point where he's like, let me get all these people going. I need to make sure everybody, by the time we get to playoffs, I need to make sure everybody is on their shit.
Right.
And the only way I can do that and the only way I can help him do that is if I put them in those positions, right? I drive to the basket, I drive defense, I bring defense down. Now I kick it out to the corner, you better hit that fucking shot, you know? I think it's just like in-game practicing. And he's just trying to get all these young guys, ready for the playoffs because, let's say they do get in there and I don't think they'll go deep at all. But I think LeBron is just kind of looking more like long term. Like I need these, but like with the stat padding, I think he's definitely trying to. Just,
I mean, you could be right, and most likely you are right because you watch basketball more than I do, so you're definitely more well rounded on it. But what at least from the outside looking in, it definitely feels like it's a casual. You see him doing that, and you're just like, bro, he's stat padding. Like, he's just trying to build the legacy. I get it. Like, you kind of start feeling like, fuck, maybe bro doesn't really give a fuck about winning anymore. But then you also have to realize, like, he's almost like, 40, 39?
Yeah.
He's like 38, 39 years old. So he's an older player now.
Bro, they were talking about, like, his, like, records are so insane. Like, the 40,000 points one, like, if you got into the NBA at, like, 19 years old, you played every season, never missed one game, and you went to the playoffs every year, you would have to average like 32 points a game or some crazy
shit. Just to meet that?
Just to get to 40,000 points in like a 20-year career.
Fuck. 20
straight years of going to the playoffs and
how many points do you think career points Steph Curry has?
Damn, that's crazy. I don't know. I would probably say like maybe like more 30,000 just because he had a couple years where he was averaging 10, 15 a game or so. LeBron's been averaging 22 points a game probably his whole career.
Steph Curry, the king of the three.
What is he at?
23,399.
And that guy has been
he's been in the league for a while.
6 NBA championships. That's crazy. So and that's important too because that's longer seasons. You know what I mean?
He's been in the NBA since 2009.
And how many times have you heard like Curry 40-point game? You know what I mean? Like when you really put it in perspective. Damn, he's barely halfway there.
He has a career average of 24.8 points.
So you said he was in 2019 or 2009 is when he started?
Yeah.
That's crazy. So 23 years, bro.
Fuck. No, 13.
13. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Dude, 13 fucking years in the NBA and so he's barely halfway.
He's halfway there. So that, I guess, that's where you have to like realize that, that's crazy
as fuck.
But Steph went to college.
Yeah,
he went to Davidson. And LeBron came straight out. He was probably, I think, the last class that came straight out of the high school.
Yeah, well, too, if you think about it, if there wasn't no like college, like if they just go to the NBA, Steph, like this might be a hot take, but Steph probably wouldn't have been in the NBA because he wasn't that good coming out of
Oh yeah,
high
yeah.
school
He
and
was
shit.
definitely was like a
He
developed
went
player.
to
Yeah.
like a D2 school or something.
Yeah. That is true.
Or
He is
D1, I
definitely.
think, but they were a small ass school, Davidson.
Yeah, I think definitely he was one of those like players that got like developed.
And
So like speaking of like college players developing, this is a great segue to Bronny James.
Yeah.
What do you think about Bronny James?
Man, I feel like I don't know. It's funny because
bro had a heart attack.
He died, bro. They had to, yeah, like
nah, I don't think he died.
It was the same thing that happened to DeMar Hamlin.
Shut up, you serious?
Like they said, like he died on the, his heart stopped.
Damn,
and they had to get it pumping.
I guess technically you dying technically, right?
Right. So that's crazy. I don't know. I think he'll be a good basketball player.
You think he's NBA? I don't think he's NBA ready now.
No, I don't think so.
I think he's going to be one of those players that, like, to fully develop, like, he might have to play all 4 years.
Oh, for sure. And he's only like 18, probably 19, if that. So
yeah, so
he's still gonna he's gonna grow probably another 3-4 inches.
LeBron's probably looking at him like, "Fuck, bro! Like, I want to play with you, but you're taking your sweet time developing. Dog.
Yeah,
like, what the fuck are you doing?"
So I don't know. I think LeBron will hold off a little bit to go play with him, but we'll see. He needs to start doing something. He needs to. I guarantee you, once he grows a little bit, he'll be a way better basketball player.
Yeah, so like his current stats as of like the other day was like 4.8 points, 2.8 rebounds, and 2.1 assist season stats. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not like you're not popping off the paper.
I wonder where that ranks in all of the point guards.
I don't know. I would assume the bottom end.
I would assume
the bottom.
Yeah,
but you also have to think, like you said, his heart stopped.
Right.
He also did he missed a chunk of the season, kind of like recovering, getting ready to like come back and be.
Maybe we need
to
watch him a little more because he could be one of those weird guys who's just like a defender, like focused dude, like a Pat Bev. Pat Bev, bro, he averaged 37 points a game in high school.
Yeah,
just dropping shit. Comes to the NBA and averages 6.
Yeah, like it's like that. That's that's more of a conversation of like just how freakishly good like a D1 athlete really is compared to like the regular civilian.
What an
NBA, how good an NBA player is to like a civilian. Like how much of like the top 1% you really truly are.
So that's funny because like kind of off topic a little bit, but I have a friend who plays semi-pro football and Jocelyn, I was telling her about it and she was like, "Oh, do you think you'll ever have the chance to play?" And I was like, well, I've never really seen him play, to be honest. But 2, like, if he's playing semi-pro, like, there's a reason why.
Yeah, he's
not, you know what I mean?
He's
like
at the next level.
And I'm not saying he's not a good player. I'm just more saying, like, that top 0.1% of people who get to make it, who get a chance to go play in the NFL and the NBA. And
it's
all
like
the
stars,
leagues.
Like the stars literally have to be like aligned for you.
It is like crazy.
Like you have to be like the top 1% in like the gene pool.
Right.
The top 1% in athleticism, the top 1% in like just being able to like
name it, athletic,
just everything,
overall.
athletic overall, and like those people like a Steph Curry, they're like probably like in the top 5%,
right?
Where like he had to develop.
So
you see, the top 5%, those are the players that suck,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Those are the guys like a Pat Bev, who doesn't really suck. He's just more of a defender.
Now he's defender.
He's a defender. Yeah. He gets in your face. You know what I'm saying? He had said this stupid ass shit on his podcast where he's like, having Pat Bev defend you is like having Giannis defend you because of just the amount of pressure that he puts on people. I guess they did some type of like stat thing where like it's the equivalent of having a Giannis defend you.
That's crazy.
And that shit's so fucking hilarious because it's like, yo, he might be telling the truth and it really might feel like that.
Well, I mean, he definitely stands on business. He always says like, I want to guard whoever's.
Yeah. He's guarding LeBron.
Always.
He's always the best player.
Smoke,
he wants the best player.
And
that's good. That's something good because like you want guys like that on the team.
Yeah.
Whether they're averaging 8 or 9 points, but like they just don't give a fuck. Because the defending the ball is just as important as making and shooting the ball.
So back to like Bronny, maybe he's a defensive focused guard and maybe that's why there's not too much hype around him. Everybody loves a guy that can hit deep fast threes. No, we gotta start watching it.
Yeah, maybe we have to watch USC, see what they're on, because maybe you could be right. Maybe he's just like a defense, or maybe both things can be true. He's probably just really just working his way back.
Yeah, man, and also he's feeling everything out. It's his first year. So we'll see how it goes.
We're in the middle of March Madness right now.
Man,
brackets are bust. Fuck it, fuck the NCAA.
Yeah,
the upsets are happening. Everything's just been going crazy. Do you have anyone going all the way and finishing this off?
Dude, honestly, like I was trying to like pick a team, and I can't find a team to like say
Root
like,
for?
oh yeah, that's my team. Yeah, because it's you
Yeah.
just never know. It's so weird with
Yeah,
college
I'm
basketball.
like super casual when it comes to like college
Uh huh.
basketball, but with those North Carolina teams are always good.
Always. Uh
Duke,
huh.
NC State, UNC.
Yep.
UNC right now they're a big favorite to win the whole thing. I think they were like plus 7,000 or plus 700, which
Oh
like
wow.
out of like 80 some teams or however many teams, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And they're doing well. I think they might be like number one low key.
Now I'm gonna look up what the spreads are for like
Yeah.
the top teams right now.
So, like there's the whole March Madness happening. Everybody, I think Kentucky already got eliminated, so they were a good favorite. Baylor's getting their ass whooped right now, so there goes that. And UNC, Houston, and who else? Illinois is still pretty good.
Uh-huh.
So there's teams out there that could definitely go all the way. I mean, it would be cool to see Illinois, the fighting Illini go, but
yeah, that would
you never know.
So this is what it says right here. UConn plus 280. Houston.
Because they won last year, didn't they?
I think so, yeah. Houston plus 550. Purdue plus 700. Arizona plus 1,000. Tennessee plus 1,200. Iowa State plus 1,600. Damn, so
UNC ain't even right there.
Plus 1,800.
There you go.
So the other 2, 4, 6,
So if you bet $10, you get 180.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Who knows? UNC,
you never know.
Won it. They've been there.
Uh-huh.
So
they're super
not that
familiar
specific
with
team,
that.
but they're pretty good.
Right.
They definitely have a championship mindset there. So
for the culture.
To them, the culture is what I was trying to say. Like, it's pretty much one of those things where like, they're pretty much when they play, they're playing to win. Yeah, they know they're going to be there.
They're used to winning, man. They're
right.
Oh yeah, man. So Baylor's losing.
Fuck Baylor. So pretty much, there's March Madness. That's pretty much the playoffs for the college. Now the NBA is starting to like really wrap up. Starting to get to like the later end of the season. Who do you have winning the West and the East?
I'll start East. My one team for sure I think that can get in there would be Celtics.
That's my team as well.
They're just so well rounded. I think the only way they could lose is if if they have a bad shooting night, they could lose any game because they rely so much on 3-point shots. So that's why I'm kind of shaky about them. And then my second one would have to be Jimmy Buckets, bro.
Yeah, the Heat.
The Heat, bro. Eric Spoelstra,
that's another team.
An insane coach.
Just like another UNC kind of team where like, they're always in the conversation.
Built for winning. You got Pat Riley. He's the general manager or whatever.
Pat Riley.
Monsters over there, bro.
See, I had the Celtics winning the East, but like the Heat are right there as well.
For sure.
I feel like the Heat are right there. I think the Knicks.
It is last year.
I feel like the Knicks, they could make a run for it too. They're very shit's starting to look good for New York.
Yeah, New York is looking
clicking.
real good.
They're clicking.
I do want to see Tibbs win a ring. You know what I mean?
Cool.
I've seen him have so many good teams that
he just doesn't.
You know what I really like about him, bro? I think it was last year. He had like Taj Gibson on that team. He had a bunch of old Bulls players. Anytime he would move to another team, he would go back and get all those Bulls players.
That's like the worst thing for like a Bulls fan. It's just like we love nostalgia.
Yeah.
We love talking about like the fucking 90s.
What
could
have been or what already happened.
Yeah. Have you seen that trend that says we're done with the 90s?
No, I haven't.
On TikTok, pretty much it's just like, it's just all these like newer guys are just like, bro, the 90s were damn near 30 years. We're fucking over it. Like we're over it, dog. Like crazy. That shit's fucking done. LeBron's what's happening now. Kobe, maybe. Curry's happening now. This is the shit that we're focused on. We gotta let it go.
Yeah, that's good.
No, we gotta let it go.
Yeah.
Like as a Bulls fan, we gotta let it go, bro. I can't, but I know eventually we have to.
Out of the West, I would have to go back and probably like the Nuggets.
Nuggets?
Yeah. I want to say the Clippers, bro, but
Clippers are looking decent, but they're the same shit as the Celtics.
I think their coach is absolutely terrible on the Clippers. Tyronn Lue.
Yeah.
Garbage.
Like the West is the same thing, dude. We're like, or not the West. The Clippers are the same thing as the Celtics. We're like, any given fucking night, they're just gonna be dog water.
Right, and if it's the same thing, like if Kawhi isn't shooting good, if Paul George isn't shooting good, you're not getting any offense from anywhere. James Harden doesn't know how to shoot the basketball anymore.
So I have kind of like, they're not really a dark horse, but they're also kind of like their favorites. I got OKC.
Yeah, me too, man.
I really want them to win.
I think
Josh Giddey's a weirdo, but like Shai Alexander-Gillis, bro, like
He's a beast.
He's a fucking
He's
beast.
a monster,
He's
for
a
real.
monster, bro. Like they just got such a good team.
Yeah.
And they're so fucking young, dude. And they got so many first round picks. They're set up
That
for like the next
team
fucking
It's gonna be scary.
they're set up for like the
bro.
next 15 fucking years.
If
and
they
then
can
just
get
like,
a couple of like 2 more parts or pieces for that team, they could be like the Warriors were for like the next 8 years or so. You know what I mean?
Just be contending. The Warriors are another team that are like right there. The
That's-
Lakers, Warriors, and the Mavericks.
What is that, like 10, 9, and 8 or something?
That's 7, 8, 9. That's 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
That's 8, 9, 10.
Dude, the Mavericks, I like them a lot. That's like my dark horse, I think, actually. The Mavericks.
The Mavericks winning
Because
it all. That's a
Luka-
weird one.
Dude, it's
But
so
Kyrie
weird.
and Luka just look so good together, bro.
And so Daniel Gafford too, they just brought him over. I know he's butt cheeks, but like in this new offense and like these new pick and roll offenses, like him and PJ Washington, man, they have been producing, and that defense is 1,000 times better. This is probably the best team Luka's played with since being in the NBA by far.
Damn, that's a big statement.
Mm-hmm.
But it's true though.
I think
But
so.
it's hella
For
true.
sure.
I think Kyrie finally found a home where they fucking appreciate him.
Yeah,
They
for
love him
real.
there, and I'm so happy for him, bro. Like that fucking, when was it? Like last Saturday.
He hit that game winner.
Oh my god,
with the
bro!
left hand. That's crazy.
Shit, just
as
like
fuck.
boom, just like hella mid range as
is
fuck, dude.
wild.
Just man, it's just good to see good basketball, bro.
Right,
It's just good to see good basketball just happening. Good Kyrie, bro. Just like him happy, bro. A happy Kyrie is a great Kyrie.
Scary Kyrie,
It's a
bro.
scary
He
Kyrie,
is-
though. He still probably has one of the best, like, besides Michael Jordan. I think he has one of the most comfortable, like, real, like, basketball shoe.
Oh, for
Like,
sure.
I've tried them on. I've never owned the paper. Like, I've tried them on, and they're really hella comfy. It just,
Kyrie's were my favorite
Yeah.
basketball shoes to play in because they
Yeah.
were so comfy and they just.
I played
they
in
fit the best.
KD's, the Trey Pennies, bro. Those fucking suck.
I play in KD's right now and
They
I like
suck.
them. They're
I think-
okay. They're-
well, maybe it's just the ones that I had, bro, but they hurt so bad.
oh, really?
That's why I'm just like, I'd rather just play Air
It's
Maxes,
because he has
bro.
a
Because
long
like,
ass foot,
yeah.
skinny as fuck too.
so they kind of like are made for like his. I have like
Yeah.
a fat, wide foot, so like whatever I play like in narrow shoes, it just hurts so bad.
yeah,
I, have to
hugging
play-
them feet.
I literally need like bulky shoes to like feel
Yeah.
comfy.
Some Air Force Ones or something. Some black
No,
Air Force Ones.
nah, the most comfiest shoe that I've ever played basketball in is a Jordan 14.
I hear that all the time. Jordans are the best to play in.
A real good Jordan 14, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck, bro. They're just, it's like walking on clouds.
Damn. Okay.
Just the way they're just the way they're built. You can
Mhm.
tell like that's really where like they started like doing like more like real basketball shoes
Yeah.
versus like, fashion forward shoes.
huh.
But the Jordan 14, bro, is like one of my favorite Jordans.
Okay. I'm gonna
And,
have
like,
to go get a pair of
Bro,
those.
they're kind of ugly. Like it's a hit or miss. Either you like them or you love them.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
Right.
Either you like them or you love them. And to me, it's like they're comfy as fuck. There's hella
Uh-huh.
cushion in them. You can play in them. You can wear them out. They go good with jeans, but you can also hoop in them. So like it's like
Yeah.
the most diverse Jordan
Right. Damn.
next
That's
to the
crazy.
Jordan 1.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So-
Concords too, man. They're like 11s.
oh, those too. The 11s are comfy
uh-huh.
as fuck too.
I like those.
They squeak hard as fuck though.
Oh, really?
At least mine do.
Oh, okay.
My 11s squeak all the time, bro. Every time like I'm walking, like if I wear into like the office or something, it sounds like I'm fucking like the SpongeBob boots.
Oh, yeah.
The-
Uh-huh.
I sound like SpongeBob in the boots and shit. But so those are our NBA playoff predictions. Let's see. We'll circle back at the end of June,
Yeah.
like 3 months to see if we got anything right, if we're right at all.
Uh-huh.
I got UNC winning it all for March Madness. The last thing that we got on our docket is TikTok they officially passed the bill to ban TikTok.
So that happened.
How do you feel?
To be honest, I don't really use like the TikTok app, but I do
Yeah.
get a lot of like TikTok-ish videos
Yeah.
on like Facebook and all that shit.
Like the reels and shit like
yeah,
that.
I think I like TikTok a lot because I don't know if it's just the brand or like the new way of social media and like the videos, but people
Yeah.
go really in depth and you can get some crazy information
See,
in about 30 seconds.
That's exactly where I'm at with TikTok because like there's so much information on it, there's so much opportunity on it, and like yes,
Right.
it's been an app that's been around for like X amount of time,
Uh-huh.
but it's still so new that like we've had like viral videos on TikTok on our like
Yep.
sports page where like we simply posted up a highlight and it got like 125K.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
That's
like we've
nice.
seen the benefit of it.
Yeah.
Um,
On Instagram, it doesn't happen like that. It's not as smooth as that.
Instagram is a lot of like repetition.
Hell
It's
yeah.
a lot of reps. You got to put a lot of reps
Yeah.
in order for the fucking algorithm to see you.
Yeah.
With TikTok, it's like one good video,
Uh-huh.
you're out of there. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And if it's the right fucking video, you can change your whole life on it.
For real.
And I think TikTok's a great tool just on like the business sense because now they have like the TikTok shop.
Yeah.
Shit like that. Like you said, it's good for information.
It's just like, and it's great for like you said, the whole e-commerce world where, you like what somebody just
Like
posted.
you're selling
you
a product.
Click that little link right on the same video and
Yeah.
it just brings you to another window and
Yeah.
now you just bought what the hell you were looking at.
Yeah.
So,
but it is also like dangerous.
and that's where
because
it gets
there's a lot of fucking weirdos on TikTok that are like pushing these weird ass agendas as far as like, just like, being predatory towards kids and,
there's for real like stuff like that on there.
Yeah, bro. Like you just catch it though. It's like hella sneaky because it's like, you got grown men acting like little kids.
Wow.
Type shit, like
Yeah.
that weird ass shit, bro. You got people on there just really manipulating things to like make it whatever they want it to be as far as like, stories or just like anything, bro. It's like anything else in like anything else, but I think again, like, with everything, with all the good, there's a lot of bad. It's the same thing. Like when we had MySpace, there was a lot of fucking weirdos on MySpace.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weirdos on Facebook.
Anytime there's a great new tool, there's some new assholes that are gonna find a way to abuse
fuck it up for everybody.
Yeah.
And I think the whole thing with like the TikTok thing is just like who has the information.
Yeah.
Is it the US? Is it China? It's a lot of political bullshit. It's a lot of like, pretty much just like, you guys can't have our information because we're afraid of whatever, nuclear war, whatever the fuck it is, right? Yeah. And I think what some people don't understand is like, bro, like, there's people who really don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, yeah, maybe I should give a fuck a little bit more about like who has my information and shit like that. Like as far as like my name, my email and shit. But like as far as like that, like I feel like that's easily Googleable. Like you can Google somebody's address. You could do weird shit like that now.
Right, yeah, definitely.
And I'm definitely not reckless to the point where like I'm like having like my debit card or like my credit card saved on like Google or anything because you can do that.
For sure.
You can put your Google your bank account information on Google to save it to do like fast express checkouts and shit. I don't do that shit. Fuck that. Like I'm gonna do manually every single time.
Yeah, because that's how you get money stolen out of your account.
Like, I have auto pay on some bills, but there's some bills, bro, where like I still just go in there and I do it myself because I don't want. There's certain websites, that especially ones that hold like third party websites, to like process a bill or some shit like that. Like I'm like, nah, fuck that. Like,
and it's crazy. Like 5-6 years ago, if you were talking about this shit, people would be like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? You sound like a tinfoil hat wearing type of dude.
Yeah, but like,
it's crazy. And so I had a client. He used to work for he works for the U.S. Like the Navy base, but he works on like the tech side. He's the head of all the tech, and his job is just to break into their own stuff and find
just
a way to make
it harder,
make it stronger, right? And he showed me all these different websites of you can literally look up what of your emails have gotten hacked and what apps they are linked to. So, dude, I went on. I put my own email in, and like back in the day when like those games on like the phones and on like Facebook, they were kind of like cool, and you would put your email in there and you can play them.
Yeah,
all of those were listed on there that they've been hacked because they were just like they had no security on them, and now they got all your information. There's just there's like literally Reddit pages of just people's passwords.
Oh yeah, dude,
like usernames.
You get to consistently change those.
It's scary.
Like even for like my credit, like I lock my credit.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you do that. If you don't do
know
that,
what that is actually. But
so pretty much you can put a hold on your credit. So like whenever you go to like buy a new car, buy a house, you have to unlock your credit for somebody to be able to run it.
Okay.
So I do that just so that people don't run my credit because like I've had bad fucking experiences with that shit. So like what I do is like I lock it. If somebody tries to run my credit, I'll get a notification that says, "Hey, X, Y, and Z wants to run your credit. Go in on Experian or TransUnion and unlock it." And I'm like, "No, fuck that shit, block."
Yeah, that
hasn't happened where I had to use it. Knock on wood. I don't want it to happen, but the extra precaution definitely with like. Just it's just one of those games that like Belinda put me on. Belinda was like, yo, like, a lot of people get their shit hacked. You should use this because this is what we use for our clients type shit. And I'm just like, all right, fuck it. I'm going to use it.
Man, we're in a world where like people are going to find ways to like just get money. They rather sit on their ass and just look through files and try their hardest to try and scam people.
Like cracking cards and shit.
Right. Shit like that, bro. And it's just, you like, really got to protect yourself.
And like what sucks, bro, is like usually like they say it's like a victimless crime, but it's not because it's like usually like older people. Yeah. You call them and they'll be like, hey, like my name is such and such and you haven't paid your ComEd bill. Should we process your payment over the phone right now? And then you just give somebody your credit card information and boom.
You're fucked.
you're fucked. They lock you out of your accounts and just drain you.
To circle this back to like TikTok and being banned, that's
essentially what they're afraid of. Is like they're afraid of like TikTok having China. They're really afraid of China having all the information, all the data on us, and all this shit. Because they're afraid to them use it in like some type of like
because TikTok was developed in China or something.
Yeah,
right?
And they're very specific on like what like the Chinese government allegedly. Because I don't know. That's just what they say. I don't live in China, obviously, but they say like that they're very particular on how they. How
they track people
on what they see, what they can and can't see, the Chinese Communist Party or whatever it's called. So I don't know, bro. Like I'm just very iffy about that shit. Like, when do you think is like an appropriate age to allow your kids to go onto TikTok?
Never. Nah, dude.
Nah, that's real though. Like
for real,
you said
dude.
Never. Like I'm not gonna be mad at you, but like, yo, what the fuck you mean never? Like, because I get it.
Like I think you just need to like every kid is different, right? Yeah. Obviously, if you got your kid and they're on all that stuff before like 9, 10, like that's kind of tough for me, just because they don't understand the world like that.
Yeah, they don't know how truly scary the world is, bro.
But they really also don't know how to protect themselves, and I think that's the bigger issue. Is it's like not about like you can't sensitize like everything, and you can't like protect your kids from seeing everything, seeing everything, because they're gonna see it all no matter what.
School,
their best friend is going to show them, and you just spent your whole life trying to like, parent lock this and that. Like they're going to see everything. They're going to probably experiment 70% of the things out there. But the only thing as a parents, what we need to do is teach them how to protect themselves and teach them how to find those red flags and what to do if there is a red flag, and just shit like that.
And then, so as they're interviewing one of the CEOs of TikTok and shit like that, like our senators and shit who are like, fucking stupid dude. This guy's just a fucking idiot. The guy who's interviewing the CEO from TikTok, he's pretty much just asking. All he gives a fuck about is like, are you a part of the Chinese Communist Party? Is it true that you're a Chinese? And the dude's like, bro, I'm from Singapore. Yeah, so like, are you part of the Chinese, Communist Party? Bro, I'm from Singapore. Like, what are you talking about, dog? I'm from Singapore. I just told you I'm Singaporean. Like, I'm not Chinese. Like,
what?
Like, I'm Chinese, dog, but I'm Singapore. I'm from Singapore. Like, they're really pressing that whole Chinese line type shit. And dude's just pretty much just like, bro, I'm not even like, what the fuck are we talking about?
Mark. Sorry, my bad.
No, you're good.
Mark, go ahead.
Sorry. So pretty much what he was saying was just like, dog, there's a feature on TikTok for kids under 13 where you can restrict it. Use it.
Right.
Like, if you're really worried about your kids, like, being on TikTok, then just don't have them on or use the restrictive version of TikTok. Which is true.
Right. If there is one.
Just be more active in watching. Like, Aria will bring home her fucking, her laptop from school and we'll go over it. I just go over it, not because like I don't trust her, but you never know, bro. Like,
right. Well, then she's young, so like young. She doesn't know.
No,
like
she has no clue like what's good and what's not.
And that's what people don't realize too, is like these kids don't even know what that is.
Yeah, because like
if they see it, they're just gonna like look past it.
Yeah, like eventually she's gonna have to get to an age where like privacy is a thing. And even though I'm her dad, I'm gonna be like, no. But like I know that I have to give her the privacy as she gets older.
Right.
The more older and older she gets, she's gonna need more privacy.
And yeah, I mean, and do you want to have a good relationship with her and give her that privacy, or do you want her to think you're a piece of shit and you're on her ass 24/7?
I'd rather just have a good relationship with my kids.
You can't like choose their thoughts. You can't make them choose their own answers.
Yeah,
so
you have to
give them that.
There's boundaries, and then there's also like there's called parenting, and then just having boundaries, just being able to like communicate with your kids, which is like sometimes like I still struggle with her specifically. But mainly it comes from a place of like good, like that you're coming from a place of like love and good and just wanting the best for your kids.
Yeah,
but you also have to understand, bro, like kids are gonna make mistakes, and in order for you to like let them grow up and develop properly, you're gonna have to let them figure it out.
Right.
So but just guide them through it. Don't just leave them out to the fucking wolves and be exposed to a world that is cold. Don't give a fuck about you, especially the online world, bro. Because like I remember as a kid when I was like 10 years old on MySpace, like how fucking open and weird it was, bro.
It's crazy.
And then you really start to think like, fuck, like, I grew up a little bit fucked up. So like, I can only imagine like, the life I'm trying to give my kids. Like, I would just hope that they're not doing shit like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or like, just be a little bit more involved.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. Cause like our generation was like, we went through like internet and it really blowing up. We were like the first generation to really learn and know how to use it.
Because like there was the people who were older than us that like you couldn't use the house phone
Right.
and the internet at the same time. Where like I
Mhm.
kind of grew up on the tail end of that, and I
Yeah.
kind of like really grew up in the boom of it.
Yeah, when our first internet service was like dial up, and I
Right.
remember sitting there for like 45 minutes just to type my password in. You know what I
Right,
mean? Like
right,
shit
right,
like
right.
that. But what we had to worry about growing up, bro, like we were worried about slow speeds. Like these kids had to be worried about like their parents' credit card being stolen
For
or
real,
some
bro.
weirdos trying
Like
to send them
kids
a
just buying
D-pic.
extra fucking V coins and shit like that for like their
Bro,
games
for
or some
real,
shit. And it's
man.
just like, bro, you just got to be careful.
Yeah, it's a scary world out there.
Yeah. So I guess the whole message from that is just like, man, just be involved. Try to set boundaries with your kids. Maybe sit down with your kids and explain to them. Like, I don't feel like there's really a good age. I think that's all on a base to base
I feel
decision.
like
Just
people are
because, like,
scared to do all that too. Like,
yeah,
just sit them down and have a conversation. Like,
yeah. But
I
that's
don't
because a
know.
lot of kids grow up, a lot of people grow up not having that with like their parents. Like, I didn't have that with my parents, bro. Like, my parents never sat me down and were like, "Hey, the internet is a fucking weird place," because they didn't grow up with the internet.
Right.
You know?
Uh-huh.
My parents are a lot older than your parents. So, like, I know for a fact my parents didn't grow up with the internet. Like, my parents
Right.
were just kind of like, now, yeah, my mom has a Facebook. My dad has a Facebook. But when I was explaining to them, like, what Facebook was when I was, like, 14, 15 years old, they were just kind of like, what the fuck? Like,
It's a big confusing.
like,
What are you
just,
talking
like,
about?
Like, what are you talking about? Like, all these people can see what you're posting. All these people can see where you're at. All these people can do
It
this and
just
this and
sounds
that.
dangerous, you know.
It
And
is still
not
very
controlled,
dangerous.
and it all is. The internet's not controlled whatsoever, and every like corner of the internet's dangerous as fuck, no matter where
real.
you're at.
So just be careful. Maybe have a conversation with your kid. And it
Give
goes
the
based
parenting
off
advice and shit.
as I'm figuring it out and shit.
No, yeah. I mean, I think it's just like experience because we have a lot of friends with kids and shit too, and you know, like, and we just have a lot of family members who have kids who are a little older and have been through certain things, and I feel like you just gotta like speak on the things you've seen and kind of been through, and I mean, every situation will be different no matter what.
Yeah.
But, so, yeah. Well, it was good
think-
little welcome back pod.
Yeah,
you
hell
know,
yeah. Another pod, just bringing Dallas back on. You know, I love doing these kind of episodes.
we just talk, man.
We just get to rambling and shit.
Yeah.
But if you guys, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. You know, thank you guys for joining us. I'll be make sure to link all of our socials in the description. If subscribe to us on YouTube with the We On One podcast. Follow us on Instagram at the We On One podcast. I'll link Dallas's Instagram too. Do you still do the coaching and stuff like that?
Yeah, I do some like online training, fitness stuff.
Yeah. So if you're looking just for some help, a little bit of guidance, a little bit of a just kind of like a little coach through, Dallas is a great person. He's helped me out in the past. You know, you could definitely go on his. Again, I'll link everything. You guys can go through his Instagram. He's definitely helped people in the past really meet their goals. He's very patient as well. So like I feel like
yeah.
I feel like he's a great person to get a lot of information from. He's definitely good at what he does. So I'll make sure I'll link everything in the description. Make sure to follow us, stay in contact, and hopefully we'll talk to you guys soon.